What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Shiv here. Alright, so we've got a slew of new cards that we're going to be previewing and reviewing today. Yes, I apologize. I was working on it last set a little bit, and then some stuff came up, and then a couple more cards came out, so we're going to just do it all in one giant little wrap here. It's kind of the idea. By the way, you guys, you're awesome in the comment section. I love it. Keep up the good work. Alright, so let's get to this. First up, we have Thistle Tea Rogue spell, 6 mana, draw a card, add 2 extra copies of it to your hand. Alright, so I've seen a lot of commentary about this involving, well, isn't Sprint better, this, that, and the other? Yeah, Sprint's better because it draws through your deck, but this also creates certain scenarios that initially were only available if you also ran Chromagus in your deck. And this actually does it a little bit better. Add 2 extra copies. Okay, so you play this, you get Eviscerate. Boom. This is a 3-card draw, by the way. You know, you draw 1 from your deck, and you're getting 2 copies of it. So if you draw an Eviscerate, you're literally talking about adding another 2 Eviscerates on top of it, thus adding to your total of Eviscerates available in your deck to 4. Now, who wouldn't want that? Now, of course, you could also pull things like Backstabs, which who wouldn't want, you know, 4 Backstabs, or Deadly Poisons. Seriously, tell me a rogue who doesn't want more deadly poisons. They don't exist, alright? No such rogue exists that doesn't want more deadly poison. So yeah, definitely, this card has some great potential. But again, it's that whole scenario of, well, isn't Sprint better? This is a little too high costed. I would not use my prep on this. Well, hold on now. Now, it is possible that Sprint as we know it might be changing, alright? With Standard coming and us not knowing exactly everything that's going to be changing, is the viability of this card still in question if Sprint gets changed? That's going to be a judgment call, to be perfectly honest. I like the card. I think there's some really cool potential with this. I definitely picked this shit in Arena, though. But at the same time, I kind of feel a little bit bad about doing it because at 6 mana, that's really punishing. So I think I would probably pass on this in Arena for probably a minion. So, yeah. Arena value kind of low, but definitely I could see some people coming up some really cool decks on this and getting a lot of value out of it. Not to mention the fact, let's say you're playing any kind of old god deck. You play this, you get that old god, you now get 3 old gods. Could you imagine 3 Cthunes? Seriously, turn 10, Cthulhu. Turn 11, Cthulhu. Turn 12, Cthulhu. It's gonna happen, you know, somebody's gonna make that shit happen, alright? And that could be really fun, guys. That could definitely be really fun. But, all in all, this isn't a bad card. It's probably not gonna see overly great amounts of play, but somebody's definitely gonna come up with some really fun shit for this card. I like it. I think it's got a lot of creative potential, and thematically, it's awesome. Alright, moving on to the next card, we have the Twilight Summoner, 4 mana for a 1/1. Alright, so if I like that last card, I can't stand this card. This card is absolute fucking trash tier. This is supposed to be your new Nerubian Egg, ladies and gentlemen. 4 mana for a 1/1. Okay, so unlike the Nerubian Egg, this can actually attack. But guess what? By the time you put this out here, pretty much everybody and their uncle is going to go, oh, Earthshock, oh, Ironbeak Owl, oh, insert whatever silence effect there is. This is not overly good. Not to mention the fact that it's so low cost that, like, a priest player might actually avoid interacting with this or just coin out Cabal Shadow Priest, or even better, Shadow Madness. So yeah, there are a lot of really sketchy scenarios when it comes to this card and its viability. I tried coming up with some good scenarios, maybe in Rogue, but then I just came to the same answers of it's still just not as good. So yeah. Now, I had some people try to say, well, think about that Priest Legendary, you know. Wouldn't that not be good here? No, it would not be good. This is bad. I'm sorry, it's just bad. I don't like it. I really do not care for this card. It's kind of cool, but yet not at the same time. Who knows, though? This might be a wait and see, but I honestly feel at 4 mana, it's just way too expensive to be overly usable. Alright, Embrace the Shadow. Speaking of Priest, 2 mana, this turn, your healing effects deal damage instead. This is arguably one of my favorite card designs I have seen yet. This creates something in Priest they haven't really known too much of. Flexibility, alright? Alright, so traditionally when you're using Akanai Soul Priest, you're normally using it for either A, combo wipe the board, or B, combo blow up the face. Well, here's the problem. If you have to use both of them to clear boards and this, that, and the other, then you're not going to have them to basically go face, which has always been a huge problem and a way of countering those kind of builds. Well, guess what? Now you don't have that problem, which means the Arcanines are primarily going to be focusing on either doing damage to the face or just clearing the board. But now you have the other option, so there's flexibility. Fact of the matter is, you now can do that combination board wipe for 2 mana and 2 cards. So that'll leave you a lot more room to play some other stuff on the back end, which, who doesn't love that, guys? Who really doesn't love that? So yeah, I like this card. I think this is probably one of the most intuitive designs they have done yet. They saw a need, filled a need, and I think that this could actually help Priest stabilize after losing Light Bomb. So I definitely love this card. Moving on to the 4th card, we have Deathwing Dragonlord, aka Brian Kibler's Wet Dream. Alright, so 10 mana for a 12/12 dragon. Death Rattle, put all dragons from your hand into the battlefield. Now, me, Nidra, and Subidin, we argued about the validity of this card on so many different levels. Like, every argument both Nidra and Subidin were having with each other, all I kept saying is like, you guys, seriously, are you talking about scenarios where you're putting 2 10-drop minions in your deck? And the moment I said that, like, all discussion just went nil. Because they realized that that kind of design for a deck would be extremely bad. It's not, yeah. Alright, so yeah, there are definitely some scenarios, especially in Paladin, where this could basically work out. But we've already seen that, you know, Dragon Paladin, it wasn't good because it couldn't get enough dragons on the board. It wasn't good because it wasn't consistent. Your early game was pretty much shot to shit. And now with, you know, a lot of the traditional early game cards that Paladins have had to rely on, i.e. Muster for Battle, Shielded Minibot, and Pilot Shredder going out of the mix, that's going to get even more rough for them. So, yeah, the validity of Deathwing is a little sketchy. Yes, you can get this out at a reduction thanks to Dragon Consort. Woohoo, hee hee, cool, awesome. And yeah, even if they do kill it with, say, a BGH, a Siphon Soul, etc., you're still going to get value by playing whatever dragon comes out. But I want you guys to think about it. There are several dragons that you're most likely going to want to put in that deck that are Battle Cry centric, alright? Twilight Drake, Twilight Guardian, Azure Drake. So you're basically foregoing that Battle Cry. So it kind of, it's a double-edged sword. It's good, but it's not good, right? So, yeah, I do like the card. I think it's going to be really cool, and I can't wait to see what future expansions are going to really enable for this. But at the same time, I just don't really see this as an overly good competitive card. An Arena, you know, it's 10 mana, 12/12, you know, without the downside of, you know, losing your entire board and hand. Though there are times where killing everything on the board is a good thing, so, I don't know. I'm still undecided on this card. I love the art, though. I think this art is fucking amazing. Alright, moving on to card number 5, the Faceless Summoner. This one was revealed by Noxious on his stream. Alright, so 6 mana, Battlecry, summon a random 3-cost minion. This is a 5/5. Okay, so let's go through a couple of these scenarios here. The most optimal one is you play this down, you get King Mukla. Alright, 6 mana for 2 5/5s? Yes, please. With no downside? Yes, please. But that's a very, very slim option. Now, if you look at a lot of the new Whispers of the Old God cards that reside in the 3 mana, almost all of them are like 3/3s, maybe a 2/2 here with this really cool special effect for Cthulhu decks and things of that nature. So yeah, this definitely could have some really cool stuff. And even if you look at the other sets that are still going to be there, there's some pretty good 3-drops out there. Mind you, there's also some pretty bad ones. So, yeah, you're basically, on average, looking at, you know, 6 mana for 8/8 worth of stats on the board, on average, divided between 2 minions. I think this card is actually pretty fucking cool. I really like it. It's definitely a card I think we will see being used by, like, your... I'm gonna say a tempo mage. I definitely could see using this, though it does not really help towards the whole casting spell type deal and all that. But sometimes having a good solid body on the board is really important. And let us not forget, you know, Lothep is going out of the mix, so a strong 5 body minion. It was going to be needed for a lot of decks. But since this is only mage, oh fuck well. But I like the card. I think it's really, really cool. And then we get to the card that has pissed everybody off. Servant of Yogg-Saron. 5 mana, 5/4, battlecry, cast a random spell that costs 5 or less targets chosen randomly. So 5 or less, so you're talking fireballs, ice blocks, ice bolt or frost bolts, ice lances, you know, definitely, there's a whole slew of them. And not just mage, guys, alright? So you got Hunter's Marks, you got deadly shots, you've got preparations, you've got deadly poisons, blade furies. I mean, there's a lot of whiffs in this scenario here. Alright, you can even cast an Innervate, right? So you play this down, boom, Innervate! Hey, you just got 2 more mana back! Ching ching! So yeah, definitely there's some weird scenarios here. This is kind of a fun card. I definitely would take this in Arena. But I would definitely take this also into Tempo Mage just for YOLO purposes of, oh, that's cool, YOLO. You know? And yeah, this is one of those cards that could backfire greatly, or it could just decimate. Ideally, getting a polymorph would be great off this, but it'd suck even more if it targeted himself, because it is target chosen random. It's literally RNG within RNG in a game dominated by RNG. There's a fucking meme on this shit so hard already. Thank you, Exhibit. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, a lot of people are a little bit miffed about this card. They're not sure how they feel. Some people think it's, you know, they don't want to play this game if shit like this exists. And da-da-da. You know what? You don't have to put it in your fucking deck, dude. Seriously. Oh, but what about other people who are playing it? Alright, let them play it. Figure out how to beat it. Don't fucking take the little bitch route. There's always a counter to almost everything in the game. Alright? Seriously, there really is. It's just changing up how you play. There's going to be this weird little grace period where everything is completely batshit crazy for a while. We know that with every expansion. We see it all the time. So, chill out. Smoke some dank meme. Have a nice day. And move on with your life. I mean, seriously. I don't know why people are so upset about this card. I think it's kind of cool. I love the RNG. I know Trollden's sitting here going, oh my god, this is going to be so good. So yeah, I really like that. But here's a question I really want to ask. Will Servant of Yogg-Saron, will that spell count towards the spell count when you play Yogg-Saron? I haven't seen anything on this, and that's a really important question. I think it really needs to be answered, because this isn't Mage. If there's a class that casts a shit ton of spells, it's fucking Mage. Hunter actually has potential of doing, being on par. Potential. But it takes a lot of work to do. So, I don't know. I really like this card. I could definitely see some fun potential in it. And I think everybody needs to chill out, alright? You're flipping out about shit that you don't even know is going to be even relevant in the meta, alright? This is a fun card. It could possibly become a really dangerous, you know, RNG luck shot in the game. But we'll have to wait and see. But hey, that's these 6 cards. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me some commentary down below. Which cards did you enjoy? What do you think of some cool combos? Did you agree with my analysis? Do you think I'm a fucking idiot? Hey, I can take it, alright? Personally, I'm a fan of Embrace the Shadows. I think this is an amazing card. Whoever designed this, my hat's off to you. But let me know down below. Leave your likes, comments, subscriptions, all that other fun stuff, man. I really do appreciate it all. Thank you for supporting this channel, and be sure to spread the word. Till next time, this ship saying, stay safe, have fun, may RNGesus bless you, and free Cthulhu. Peace.